So, sometimes I get in front of the camera and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. But today, after a couple of dust-ups on the good old Facebook about, we'll say under the heading of movie production generally, I have a few comments. I'd love to hear what my wife is going to say because she doesn't know where I'm going with this. So, since the advent of digital movie making, and actually even before that, there have been changes in the way things are done. There's been some long-standing, tried-and-true methods, especially when there's been a very small number of people in control of an industry. But the advent of digital filmmaking has given a lot more people an opportunity to get involved in filmmaking. So some of the old guard, we'll call them, are really resistant and inflexible about some of the new things that are coming along. One of them being people willing to volunteer to shoot things simply because they want the opportunity to get some experience and they want people to know that they're capable of doing something. And it's hard sometimes if you don't know that someone can do something to be willing to pay them. But if they offer to do it free of charge, you might say, sure, go shoot it, because at the very least, you might have a product you can use. And at the very worst, you'll go pay somebody else to shoot it, right? The other thing that came up to my attention recently is this whole headshots thing. Especially for indie, for somebody who's shooting an indie, do I need you to go and spend $100 and some on a headshot? No. Take your buddy's digital camera, find yourself a nice neutral background, dress yourself in kind of like solid colors, and get a reasonably good shot that looks like you, and then use that on Facebook to let people know that you look like this. And if I'm looking for somebody who looks like that, the next thing I want to find out is, can you act? So I'd say the other thing you need is a little teeny bit of a in front of the camera audition. And one of the things I recently encountered that seems to work well is you're going to do a read. Maybe it's only 20 seconds, and you're going to read it 3 different ways at least. That way the director can see, oh, look, they can do more than one thing. They can do a read different ways, which means it kind of gives me the impression that, okay, you could take some direction and move around.
Here, I have an example.
Okay.
Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me?
There you go.
Because I don't
Can you do
get
it?
to see anything in this. Are you looking at me?
Can you do it confused?
Are you looking at me? I don't know how to do confused. I just didn't think I was going to get a chance to say anything in this
Well, what's your opinion
video.
about what I've talked about?
I think my husband is always right.
Except when he's not.
And I get chocolate whenever I say that.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. You shouldn't be... It's not a union. They can't force you not to do something free if you want to do something free.
I think I have every time I hear this resistance to allowing people to do things without being paid. I mean, clearly, if an individual repeatedly time after time after time goes out and does something free of charge with an expectation that has been set that eventually they'll get paid, yeah, there's something wrong there. But if you see an opportunity, or if I see an opportunity to go do something cool that I kind of want to do, and somebody else is going to gather the cast, somebody else is going to provide the location, somebody else is going to provide some special props, and they just want me to shoot something, and it's all new and interesting to me, and I'll go, yeah, I'll take that on, I'll try that. And if I happen to be taking somebody's paid job, well, that's competition. Obviously, the people who want to be paid have to present themselves as being worthy of being paid to keep me from being assigned to shoot. And that might not be fair or cool in your opinion if you're a paid person, because you're thinking, I'm taking money out of your pocket because I'm willing to do it free of charge. But that's the new reality. There's a lot of hungry people who want to get out there and get seen and be regarded as capable so they can earn money. And how are they going to get that recognition?
I have a question.
Yep.
So we had a famous movie star do a Sparta promo.
Yes.
Free of charge.
Yeah, because he felt like it.
Were we supposed to have said, no, If you want to do it free, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's somebody on the outside looking in going, hey, that's not cool because you're devaluing everybody's contribution if you don't charge. Like, well, except it's a new competitive environment. Everybody with a digital camera and some skills is looking to maybe make a living doing it, but they need to get their foot in the door. And the one thing that every one of those people have going for them, I say, is I'll try, I'll give it a shot. It won't cost anything. And then the person who needs it's going to say, well, gee, why not? Give it a shot. And they may get a free product, and it may, make them a lot of money. And the person who shot it may be like, oh, gee, I wish I was getting something out of that. Well, that's an opportunity too. You could say, I'll shoot that free, but I want some consideration. If this shoot earns you some money, I want something on the back end. There's lots of ways to go, but the permission from the greater public who has concerns about that, it's like, unless you're intimately connected to some of these people and they're really determining whether you're going to make it or break it, but there's so many opportunities out there. So I'm not personally worried about somebody who's got 25 years experience blocking the path for me. I'll find somebody else, because there's a lot of people who need something who can't afford to pay a big premium to get it done. And they might, after you negotiate with them, they might ask you initially, I want this free, can you give it to me free? But you might find out after you talk to them that they're willing to pay you something, because if you can explain what it is you're going to do and why it's valuable to them and show them that you've got some smarts, you could easily turn that for no charge into a paid gig.
I've heard this before from other painters, because I paint, as you know. And artists who are selling for a living don't want the rest of us who are just trying to make a little money from not much talent. They don't want us to price our paintings in an affordable range. They want us to price them where no one can buy them. Because if we don't, it's devaluing their price scheme and what they want. And I find that bullshit. I've sold 10 paintings. I'm not Picasso. I wouldn't have sold those paintings if I'd been asking $500, $1,000 a pop. So fuck off. And by the way, it's free. I got this free. I got these glasses free. It's never for free.
And that concludes today's daily video blog. Feel free to comment.
Feel free to comment. I have also given away many paintings for nothing, which is probably going to piss off a lot of people too. And fuck you too.